My name is Kerry. I am co-founder of Script to Screen with my wife Barbi. I wanted to talk today about, and I hope my title got people's attention, what do Academy Award-winning movies, best-selling books, and amazing testimonials have in common? I know that kind of sounds kind of random and maybe there isn't something that ties it all together, but actually there is. And it's a process that we've been using at Script to Screen for many, many years. The answer to that question is a story arc. What is a story arc? So let's talk about what a story arc is. A story arc is basically when you have a testimonial, when you're trying to create a real good story in a testimonial, it's that ride you take the consumer on. It's that what gets someone's attention, how does it peak? What's that conflict? What's that pain point for other people? How does your product or service solve that problem, and how does it resolve? That's what a story arc is. I just kind of threw it all into one description there, but let's start off with attention. What does a good movie and a book and a testimonial have? Something that grabs your attention right off the top. We call it a grabber, just like in a movie. There's something that grabs you right off the top, that grabs you into that movie. Or there's something in that book that gets you to want to read the rest of it. There's something about a testimonial. Somebody says something that resonates with you and it grabs your attention. With that, you have basically given the permission to give yourself a little bit of time to figure out where this story is going. Having an attention-grabbing open is extremely important in a testimonial, especially in a testimonial story, okay? And a story, like I said, is somebody's story takes somebody through that whole arc. So the beginning of that arc is that attention grabber. The next part of that arc is the problem. What is the obstacle that person is having? What is that pain point that they're having, and how is that obstacle, how are other people watching this testimonial relating to that obstacle or having the same kind of problem? You have to reveal that problem to understand why you want to listen more, why you even care about what that person's issue is. So you have to have that problem or that solution or that obstacle. Same in a movie. What's that conflict? What's that obstacle? What are people going through that is the crux of the story? That once you figure out what that is, basically the rest of the movie is all about that same thing in a book. You understand what that conflict, what that obstacle is. Now that you've got that, now how is that going to be solved throughout the movie? And same thing with a great testimony. You want to have that problem, you want to have that obstacle, and it needs to be clear. And that obstacle needs to be specific to your audience. If you're talking about a problem that your customer's not having, then why would they even stick around to hear what you have to say? So it's not just having an obstacle or a problem, it's having a specific obstacle and a specific problem. So the next one is, what is the journey? What's the journey they have gone through to answer? And I kind of mix that with the solution. So there's that problem, and then your product, your service, there's a solution to that. And that solution gets intertwined with the journey that they take after using your product or service to solve their problem. There's a journey that they've taken in order to get to the other side of that. Same thing in a movie, right? There's a conflict, there's something that happens that gets over that conflict or over that problem, and then the rest of the movie is that journey of how they answer that question or how they solve it. Same thing in the book, right? That's what a great story does. And that's what a great story does with a testimonial, is you have that problem, you have that conflict, you have the solution, which happens to be your product or service that you're offering, and then how did they incorporate it into their lives, and how did that journey go about in order to get them on the other end, and on the other side of that. And the other side of that is the solution, is the resolution, if you will. So you've got their attention, you've addressed the problem that you're having specifically with your customer. Your product, your service is the solution they've been looking for because it's very specific to the problem that they had. And that journey that they took to solve that problem is how they transformed, how they made a big change in their life. And that's what gets people sucked in, because they see that transformation. They say, well, if this person did it, I can certainly do it, right? That transformation in that solution that leads to the resolution of what exactly happened, why they're so happy, why they recommend your product or service.